Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Aham Padarthaya Shivaya Paramatmane Namaha. Ya Maya Madhukairapa Prapadini, Ya Mahishonmolini, Ya Dhumrekshana Chandamunda Madini, Ya Rakta Bijashini, Ya Sahashumbana Shumbadarbadalini, Ya Siddha Lakshmi Para, Sachanti Navakoti Murti Sagida, Mampadu Vishweshwari. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ पुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम् ॐ ऐङ्कार ह्रीङ्कार रगस्य युक्त श्रीङ्कार गूढार्थमहाविभूत्य ओङ्कार मर्म प्रतिपादिनीभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां बिन्दु त्रिकोण वशिकोण दशारयुग्म मन्वश्रनागतल संयुत षोडचारं वृद्धत्रयं च तरुणी सदनत्रयं च श्रीचक्रम्येतत् उदितं परदेवतयाः भूमौ स्खलितपादानां भूमिरेवावलम्बनं त्वयि जात अपराधानां त्वमेव शरणं शिवे ॐ श्रीमात्रे नमः हरिः ओम् Namaskaram. So by the grace of Parambika, we are having a sankalpam of understanding the meaning of Soundaryalahari. In that, we have come up to the verse 18 in the last class. We saw that in the verse 15, 16, 17, these three are called Saraswata Prayogam. That is, those three sutras are invoking the contemplation on Parashakti as Mahasaraswati. In the Srividya Margam, Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali are the names and forms of Parashakti, Sri Lalita Tripura Sundari. So this is not to be taken just as the Puranic deities like Saraswati, Lakshmi and Parvati. Here it is Brahmashakti herself. So in the 15, 16, 17, we plead for the Jnana Shakti. Whatever you plead when you worship Ambal as a Shadvaguna Rupini or Shuddha Rajas Rupini, Sarajjosna Shuddham, we saw Kavintranam Cheta, we saw. Then we saw Savitri Birbhasham, Sashimanishla Bangrishbihi. So Chandran, Suryan, Agni, in all these three forms, in 15, 16, and 17, we worshipped. The Chandran, Suryan, and the Agni are represented by the effulgence of Ambal. Sarajjosna Shuddha as a moonlight. Kavintranam Cheda Kamalavana Bhalata Ruchi. So there you saw that sun rising in the east with a mix of brown, red, and white color. Then Sashimanishila, Chandrakanta color. So Now we are going to the 18th mantra that we saw in the last class. Dhanuchaya biste tarunadharani shri sharani bihi divam sharvam urvim arunimani magnam smaratiyah bhavantyasya syat manaharina shalina nayanaha sahorvasya Kati-katina ghirvana kanigaha. We saw this in the last class. This 18 and the 19th verse that we are going to see today, these two are called, they are also in the same order of Vashikarana Shakti. It's called manmathakalā vidya, Madhana Prayogam. So we see that how it is. Madhana Prayogam means Manmathan. The word Manmathan represent. Man means the mind. Mathanam is that which churns the mind. You know, in back home in India, we have this. Mothers used to do a kind of wooden stick to churn out the curd. It's called math. Mathanam is that turns your mind. So when mind is turned, afflictions come in. Some sort of anxiety comes in because of the desires. So that is what is meant. But here, the Madhana Prayogam is the Vashikarana Shakti comes in, and the Vashikarana Shakti is empowered upon you, the devotee, so that everything is attracted towards you. Ishyatvam. We are repeatedly going on to the Ishyatvam because the Ichcha Shakti, see, even you may have a great jnanam, you have a great power to perform, but unless you are revered, respected, loved, looked upon, that Akarshana Shakti, if you don't have, all your powers are in a way futile, is it not? So the Ishitvam, or the lordship over other things, is called a Vashikarana Shakti. So this is 18 and 19. So we see the 19 also. Read the 19. Mukhaṁ binduṁ kritva kuca-yugam-adhastasya tadadhō hara-ardham dhyāyēdyō haramahiṣi manmathakalām sadyaḥ saṁkṣōbhaṁ nayati vanitā ityatilaghu trilōkīmapyāśu bhramayati ravi-indu-stana-yugām mukhaṁ binduṁ kritva kuca-yugamadhastasya tadadhō hara-ardham dhyāyēdyō haramahiṣi manmathakalām sadyaḥ saṁkṣōbhaṁ nayati vanitā ityatilaghu trilōkīmapyāśu bhramayati ravi-indu-stana-yugām. See, this 19th and 18th verse. Normally, many learned people, people who give discourses, acharyas, they normally don't expand the meaning of these verses. They just pass through it. Not because they don't want to say this, because they are this kind of verses contain a lot of rahasyartham. To understand it, I would call it a bhavartham. You need to have the bhavana to have that true import of that. If you don't have that capacity, then there is a risk of, like giving a surgical knife to a kid, It may damage herself or himself. So they normally say, don't need to worry about this. You see, when you are learning scriptures or any sastric knowledge or any stostram, the mantrams are there and stostrams are there. The mantram are those which cannot be, which need not be understood for the import of the meaning. Mantrams are like, like well field trial done medicine that is given to you. Just swallow it. Don't need to worry. Don't ask questions. What it is made of. All that is not necessary, because the mantram's power comes not from its meaning, but it is potency which is revered because of the revelation by the Rishi on this. So it has got a sound, it has got a simple aksham it may be, but when it is given upadesam to you, you just take it and then say it. But you need an amount of shraddha to this. And even if you break into that and try to get some meaning, the meaning is very difficult to come by. It is not there as it is. But if we take Stostram, Stostram is anything to worship the deities, the God, the chosen form. It is important to understand the meaning. Stostram, you must know the meaning to relish and to have. You see, when you do Vishnu Sahasranama Parayanam, Lalita Sahasranama Parayanam, why they give the names there instead of mantras? Of course, they become mantras because they want you to, the learner wants you to relish the names, contemplate, when you are saying Sri Mata, Sri Maharagi, Sri Māśvarī, Chitakni Gunda Sambodha. I mean, when you read that, what is Chitakni? What is Sri Mata? You have to ask a question. You will ask a question, and you must. And when you ask the question, you need to understand the meaning of it. When you understand the meaning, you realize that the simple looking name is a bundle of infinite potential to understand the truth. And more you go into the meaning of it, more and more revelation happens to you. That way, Stotram is an inducive part to understand the meaning. It provokes you, it asks you to know it more. So it is important, therefore, Soundaryalahari as the Stotram, you must understand the meaning of it. That's what we are trying to do. But then, Soundaryalahari is also a mantra, because Bhagavad Padal's poetry itself is such a supreme majesty and profundity on this. But this is being the Brahma Shakti Upasana, and Bhagavan is giving the great Vedantic knowledge into the Shakti Vedanta, into this Ambal Upasana. It is all Putakam. Putakam means Sukshmam. Very difficult to find the meaning sometime. Therefore, it becomes a mantram also. If you look at there's something called the Magheshrani Slotra. The people who learned Sanskritam or who has gone through this Brahmopadesham, they teach you that way. In the Panini, when he wrote this sutra, I wun look a wong I ouch hayabarat, it goes like that, right? Hal, it comes in. So if you read that, it is just a sound. It doesn't make sense to you for uninitiated. But then when you read the Vyakaranas and then you understand it, you say, look, this is not just the words. It is not, you can't get the name from it. They're all enumerated codes. Hal is not something you should look for meaning, but hal is a marker for something else contained. It's a beginning marker, end marker. In a communication engineering, we call it error correction code, parity markers. Like, today we have this artificial intelligence stuff. Everybody goes to chat GPT, give me that, and gives you that. It writes essays for you, stories for you. How does it learn that? It learns through it's called a LLM, a large language model. Like we learn from many languages and be able to converse and produce words, the computer is made to learn. But how can computer learn? It has no consciousness. Learning requires some sort of consciousness, right? But here it doesn't learn because it does not tell you whatever it writes, it doesn't know what it is writing. It is a complete idiot box. It may call it AI machine, but whatever it is putting it out, but it is able to do it because it contains its knowledge in what is called a vector database. What is a vector database? A database is what? A database is where you have data. If I have an employee database, so every employee record is there. If I go in there and press the button, I see the employee name and address. Okay. So when I go to the database, I see the meaning of it straight away. But in a vector database, when you go and look at it, you don't see anything. You see a lot of numbers. They are references, they are markers. It does not give you anything you can comprehend, but it contains a lot of connecting points that this word may connect to this field, this meaning. Kind of a specialized indexes and mathematical representation. Now, it is like this. The Maheshwara Sutrani, it's like this. Sometimes the Soundaryalahari. So, in this mantra, the great scholars who are bent on bringing out this kind of a essence to the public, they analyze it. Or this word is a marker. This actually decode into the bijaksharam, kleem. This is come, like that. So why I'm giving all this preamble? Because if you don't know this meaning of this sostram or any such Soundaryalahari sostram, does not matter because it's a mantra. So somebody asked me a question, now should I really know the meaning? I don't know the meaning. I don't want to know the meaning. I just wanted to recite. Please do. If it is not a mantram, I would not even insist. It is a sostram. Somebody must know it. But here comes the tricky point. Some sostras, vachyartham, gives you a potentially a risky periphery. We'll see what it is. So here, mukhaṁ binduṁ krutva kucayugamadhastasya tadadhō hara-ardham dhyāyēdyō, haramahiṣi. So what is Bhagavan giving here? In the 15, 16, 17, we saw the Jnana Shakti. In the 18th verse, we looked at the Ichcha Shakti. You remember the 18th verse? Where we saw Tanuchaya Bhiste Tarunadharani. So all the deer-like eyes, all the Devakandikas come behind you. We saw that. Therefore, this is Ichcha Shakti. But in this 19th verse, we want Kriya Shakti. Kriya Shakti is, Jnana Shakti is the power to will. Sorry, the power to know. Not knowing, the power to know is Jnana Shakti. The power to do is Kriya Shakti. The power to will is Ichcha Shakti. Willpower is not Ichcha Shakti, the power to will. I think, but the power to think. So Shakti is always sukshma. So here the devotee is worshipping Ambal because from all the previous slokas, mantras, he has come to the conclusion and take a divine sankalpam, the Brahma Shakti, which is worshipped by Bhagavad Padal in the first verse, Shakti-Yuktam, and she is represented by different forms, and in Sri Pura, in Sri Chakra, in Kundalini, and all that. I now have to worship her. To worship her, for the Jnana Shakti, I worshipped with the Sattva and Shuddha Rajas. The Ichcha Shakti came in. Ichcha Shakti is the desire. The desire comes from, when you're doing the worship in Sri Vidya Upasana, you also worship the Ambal's figure from the head to the neck. It's called a Vakbhava Kūṭam. So when you're doing the meditation in Ambal's face, up to the neck, there you are looking for the Jnana Shakti, Vakbhava Kūṭam, because in this part, the most important is the mouth which speaks. Therefore, walk is very important. So Jnana Shakti was. So these are all bhavana, Well, can I not get Ichcha Shakti from the face? Of course you can get. But to give a kramam means you give a discipline, then it takes you in a very narrow but beautiful path. Then from the neck onwards to the hip, when you look at the Ambal's body, it is called Kāmarāja Kūṭa. Kāmarāja Kūṭa means it is Madhya Kūṭam, or it is where the power to attract comes in. Ichcha Shakti comes in. That we saw in the 18th verse. From the hip onwards to the feet, that portion is called Shakti Kūṭam. Shakti Kūṭam means the Kriya Shakti, where the creation happens. So literally you look at your face, and then you look at the body, and then the bottom of the party is a creative energies part. That's how it has been put through, right? So here, the devotee is using this mantra and do upasana, so that he get a sakala prani vashikaranam. He get attraction of everything else, and he attains the kamyapalam. Kamyapalam means what? Whatever you desire, you get it. How does he do this upasana? He can upasana in so many ways. He can do the upasana by looking at physically at the Ambal's picture, or he can look at the yantra to represent the Ambal, so that you look at the Sri Chakra, and that you bring some bhavana, some emotion to this. Or you can do mantra rupam. So there are mantras of 16 letters, which is in the first 15 are called Panchadashi. When you add the 16th words, it becomes the Bijaksham, become Shodadasi. So these are the things which are secretly revealed to you. And when we can do this Panchadashi, Shodadashi, all these mantras, if you do, then you get the adhigaratva. So this 19th mantra, for example, where Ambal is not worshipped or Mahasaraswati or Mahalakshmi, but Parapatariga. Parapatariga means Ambal in the form of union with the Parabrahman. So you are contemplating on the power that unites with the Shiva. Why that Shakti is pronounced here? Because it is the Srishti Tattva. Why should I know about Srishti? Because you are in a samsara, which is, of course, if you can look for money, wealth, fame, and all kind of earthly desires, you can get all those things by papa punyas, but again you are in the samsaric wrap. But when you want to transcend the samsaric wrap, that means you should look beyond this balloon. What is this balloon that is entrapping you? It is made up of kala, desa, guna, vishaya, vartamana. Time, space, your intrinsic attributes, your material objectivity, grossness. Oh, that's what it is, isn't it? So my body, my mind, this life, this time, I cannot transcend the time. I can't move out of the space. Of course, I do transcend the time and space, and I am in a deep sleep. The deep sleep, I have no time. I have no space. I have no gunas. Can you tell me a sleeping person as an angry person? No, anger doesn't exist. When he wakes up, he becomes an angry man. In the sleep, he is Nirguna Brahman. He has no time, no space, no vishayas, no rich, poor, no man, woman, no cancer, no diabetic, nothing. You transcend everything. Of course, you don't know that you transcended because you are enwrapped in a carpet of ignorance. So here, how can I transcend everything but be aware that I have transcended that? I use the loose words here, but you get the point. That means I must go beyond all these bubble wraps. But this bubble wrap is the world. It is Srishti, Sthiti, Layam. So if I need to transcend it, I should know what it is, how it came. This is the knot that we are going to understand here. So that creation came. So all this is all kalpitam. If you are an Advaitic Vedantic aspirant, you're going to negate everything in some stage. But it is important steps because the whole creation, therefore, caused by something, and the something is called Kāmakala. Kāmakala means the power, the urge to create, the infinite potential to create. The creation happens between Shivam and Shakti. Let's see the word meaning and then we go deeper into that. Mukhaṁ binduṁ kritva kuca-yugam-adhastasya tadadhō hara-ardham dhyāyēdyō haramahiṣi. Let's check the haramahiṣi first. So here he is calling, hey haramahiṣi. It's directly calling Ambal. Hara means Parameshwara. Mahishi means the empress, the queen. So, hey, the empress, the escort of Parabrahma. Why didn't she call just, simply Parvati or something? Because here, Haramahishi means it's Brahma Shakti. He wants you to remember that you are worshipping not just a deity of some finite power, Brahma Shakti. Brahman and Shakti are not two different things. Therefore, you are worshipping the Parashivam and the Parashiva Shakti, therefore Parabrahmam, Advaitam. So you are worshipping that. If it's Advaitam, it is my Atma. It's a Brahmatma Anubhavam, Anubhuti is what you're seeking. So, hey, Haramahiṣi. So what happened? Mukhaṁ bindu. Your face is the bindu. Now he is connecting directly to the Sri Chakra. You all know the Sri Chakra image. Now think in your mind, a lot of circles, triangles and everything. And you go to right center, there is a dot. It's called bindu. Let's see what it is. So that bindu is the face of Ambal. Why can't I put a face, a drawing? Of course you can do a drawing. Then it becomes not yantram, it becomes a pratima. See, the most simplest form is to worship in a human form or in another form. Then a still subtler form is the form is released and changed into geometry, the lines, the dots in yantra. Still superior form is yantra is also gone, mantra. And still superior form is the mantram becomes submerged into the pranavam of Om, and then you see the Atma Puja. So this is the escalation path. So here we are in the yantra upasana. So the bindu is your face, right? Atastasya, ataha tasya. So tasya means on that, ataha means below, down. So below that, the Sri Chakram, below that, he says, kuca-yugam. So in the Sri Chakram, you look at it, there's only one bindu. Now this is where it comes to secrets and everything. So that bindu is called para-bindu. That is indivisible Shiva-Shakti Aikyam. Absolutely. But here for the meditation point of view, that bindu is called a bindu mandalam. And if we go inside and we see, we could see it's the form of a triangle and we see three dots. One on the top of the triangle, on the two sides of the triangle. So there are three triangles, three bindus. The bindu on the top is the face. Below that, kuca-yugam. Kuca means the bosom, the breast of the Ambal. Yugam means two. So there are two bindus or Ambal's breast. Tat-adhaḥ. Then even below that, hara-ardham tadadhō. Hara-ardham dhyāyēdyō. Hara-ardham means hara means Shiva, ardham means half of Shiva. The half of Shiva here is Shakti. Shakti is the creative power. Therefore, this actually means, I'm simplifying it, is enough for you to understand that way. It is the Yoni of Ambal, the creative place of Ambal, which is below. So now I see, I am worshipping Ambal as the bindu as the face, and below the two bindus are her stanas or the breast. Then below is I see her yoni. So I see Ambal in the Sri Chakram. Why am I doing this? I'm doing it because yad bhavana dat bhavati. How you worship something, you become that. Like a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. You know, when you have anyonya bhavam, if you have, people say, when you're having a monkey and you are a monkey charmer, if you're living with a monkey for many years and you look like a monkey, they say. Even between a very loving husband and wife, they have a beautiful married life together, they love each other. You will see their faces reflect each other. This is how it is. So, when I therefore worship Ambal herself in the Sri Chakra, here Ambal is worshipped in her sthula form, her face and breast and her yoni like that. So I become that. In other words, I worship my face as the Ambal's bindu, my chest as Ambal's chest, and my yoni as Ambal's yoni. So I worship Ambal in me. So this is what I do. So, okay, what happened? Kritva, yaha, whoever is doing that, dhyāyēdyō, whoever is doing contemplation like that, what happens to him? Saha, sadyah, saha means he, Satyaḥ means at once. So he at once, what happens? At once, vanitā saṁkṣōbhaṁ nayati. Saṁkṣōbhaṁ means anxious, excitement, rushing to do something. Something I don't know, I have to do something. I am being itching to do something. Who? All these ladies, vanitā nayati. So they don't know what to do. They're so anxious, so excited. So they come to him with that kind of anxious thought to make him happy. For who? For the one who worships Ambal's Swarupam, Rupam in the Upasana, in the chakra. So this is called Madana Prayogam. This kind of a dhyanam, but this is not a dhyanam that you and I can do. Why? See, when they do that, before I go to that, what is here said? All the vanitas coming. The vanitas, we don't have to worry about the girls in the world come to you, because that is not the intent. So this is a risk of misunderstanding it. Here the vanitas are the Shaktis who fulfill your desires. They are the Ichcha-Shakti, Jnana-Shakti, Kriya-Shakti, Anima-Shakti, power to remember, power to attract. Everything that you want to do, a desire become a maiden, and the maiden comes behind you. Well, I never wanted that. Well, she's there to serve you. Well, I never look for money. Money comes in. Why? The money granting Lakshmi Devi is next to you. I never asked for it. No, but you did Parambika in your dhyanam. So all these ladies, Shaktis, Devis are attracted to you, and they are there. But then here comes the interesting part. Bhagavan says, vanitā ati-laghu, ityatilaghu, ati-laghu. Ityatilaghu means iti. This is ati-laghu. Laghu means simple. Ati-laghu means so simple. Come on, what is this? All this Devi is giving you all this thing. I already seen it, because Nayana Virasam, Naram Varshiyamsam, on the sloka I saw even an old man, when he falls on the grounds of the Ambal, he is being chased by the pretty Apsaras and Urvasi and all that. Therefore, I'm not old. I'm now doing contemplation Ambal. Therefore, it is very natural. All these powers come to me. ati-laghu. So what is there? Kintu, here what he says, not only that, ravi-indu-stana-yugām, the last word, ravi-indu-stana-yugām. Ravi means sun, Indu means moon, Stana means the breast. So the deities or the Devis whose breast are the sun and the moon. Now you see, Bhagavad Paul is taking it to the cosmic idea. It's not just the physical form of a maiden in this world or on the heaven. It is the cosmic figure that is there. For her, sun and the moon are their breast. What do? trilōkīmapyāśu. They are the one who causes the three worlds to happen. What happened to them? Ashu means immediately, Parameshwara is called Ashutosh. Ashutosh means he can very easily make you happy. So Ashu here means happily, very quickly. Bhramayati. Brahma, very careful. Brahma means right knowledge. Brahma means deluded. So here, all these Shaktis who create these three worlds for you, with their breast of sun and the moon, they get so deluded at you because they wanted to serve you. They become under your control. Vashikaranam has happened. So can I therefore recite this 100 times, 1,000 times? Will I get it? Of course you can recite it 100 times, 1,000 times. Of course you can bring down the scale to a normal thing. Let me get this person attracted to me. Let this job come to me. Of course you can make a small thing. It's like with a nuclear device, you're igniting a cooker. But these mantras, these stotras are only for those. The Tyatilaghu Shastra says only for those who has done Panchadashi, Shodadashi, because this Kāmyapalam, you cannot get it easily. So only for those you can come through. So what do I do then? Then we have a very simple way. Why do we ask anything from God? Why do I need this Shakti? What am I going to do with lots of money, with lots of things? Well, I need the money now, fine. But what are you going to do with all that? One day it's all going to go away from you. You start from this stage one. So you need a power to transcend all that. When you do that, then everything will come to you. Whenever you need money, money is there. Whenever you are hungry, food is there. Whenever you need love, love is there. So what do I do for that? You only desire parambikas. You only desire to be her. So that means nishkamya sankalpam. I don't need nishkamyam here is I don't need all the worldly pleasures. And when I am like this, then I think the mantra reveals more and more into this. So we'll understand some of those intricacies in this. The Kāmarāja Kūṭam is, if you remember that avaranas I explained to you, there are 9 avaranas. Avaranas are a logical geometry within the Sri Chakram given a name. The Sarva Saubhakya-dhyāyakam, Sarvartha Sadhakam, Sarva Rakshagaram, these 3 are called Kāmarāja Kūṭa. But anything below, Sarvarogaharam, Sarvashakti-pradam, Sarvanandamayam is called Shakti-Kūṭa. But in the Sri Vidya Marga, the worship of Shakti-Kūṭam and upasana on this mantra like 19 is only given. I'm talking about people who seriously take the upasana marga, and you can't go to any great seer and say, give me this mantra, I want to do that. They will not let you do. You have to go through gradually many steps. And once you are given the Panchadashi mantra and you do the upasana for this, then they increase to 16 syllable Shodadashi mantra. Once you get maturity on it, then they will reveal this particular. So it is so profound. So we really don't need to dwell on that very greatly. But there are a few points, The reason I say this, I don't want to be committing a mistake because where great scholars and rishis don't reveal the secret. But I'm not revealing a secret because I'm only telling you because there's a dark room and people say, there's a dark room, don't go. Fair enough. But you can also say, don't go to the dark room because inside there are knives, there are fire, there are pits, there are fragrance, there are flowers, there are gold. There are many things. Since you don't know where they are, you get intimidated. I can also say that. So again, you are not revealing what is inside, but you are revealing so many potency inside, potential risks inside, but if you don't understand it. So that's the way we are approaching it. Okay? So let's look at it. So in the Lalita Sahasranamam, we have, if you want to look at this mantra, where does it relate to? In many places, simply I can say, Kamya, Kamya, Kāmakala Rupa, Kadamba Kusuma Priya, Kalyani Jagadikanta. That line, Kamya, Kāmakala Rupa, Kāmakala Rupam. So, this Kāmakala, what is Kāmakala? I know Kāmeśvarī, Kāmeśvaram. You know? Yes. Kāmeśvarī means one who is the Isha. The E sound, E is very important for Amba. Ishitvam, Olumai. Kāmaīśvarī means one who controls desires. Kāmaīśvara means one who controls desires. So Kāmeshvara and Kāmeshvarī are Ardhanārishvara, who are presenting to us their form of the rulers of the desires. Since desires are driving us to crazy things to do, we give our heart to them so that they can fulfill the right desires. So we know all that. What is Kāmakala? To understand that, see, in the Shakta tradition, also in the Kashmiri Saivism also, their speculation is that the apparent duality of Shiva and Shakti. Shiva and Shakti are two things here. This duality is resulting from the natural, undivided, absolute consciousness. The pure consciousness is what is Shivam, Brahman. But the pure consciousness has got an inherent ability to mirror itself. And this is a sukshma. It is all pervasive. See, I cannot duplicate myself if I am filling up the whole room, because there is no space to create myself. That's why we say paripurnam, nirakaram, nirvikaram, nirgunam, all that we say. But there is, Shaktam releases this particular capacity of the Brahman, saying it can mirror itself. That means the pure consciousness is now conscious of being conscious. You understand what I'm saying? A pure consciousness and being conscious of consciousness. You know? See, I've said knowledge, and I say, I am knowledgeable, and you'll come and ask me, okay, what are you knowledgeable about? What's your knowledge about? I would say, okay, architecture, aerospace, actuary, poetry, whatever. So the knowledge does not stand by itself. It needs an object on which it has got its hold. Therefore, knowledgeable requires something to know about a knowledge. But when I say just knowledge, I am knowledge. What does it mean? That means it is the power to know everything. Why I say power to know? Because there's nothing to know. If I am completely everywhere, I am the paripurnatvam. There's nothing other than me. What I can know? Nothing I can know. Therefore, I am absolute knowledge. But we use the word absolute, pure awareness. Understand? But then, now I think of myself. I am here talking something, and you are there listening something. I'm aware of this place, the computer, the light, everything. So my awareness is circling around an identity of a being who is aware. You see what I'm saying? I'm struggling to find the right words to explain to you, but it's very, very easy. Sometimes, when the gudārthams are revealed by the teacher or any acharyas, there is a guru, there's a shishya, you look at them, his words are my hearing. But sometimes you have to assume the role of the teacher. That means the word of a teacher is not teacher telling you something, but you telling yourself. the impact of you telling yourself is far greater than anybody else telling you. So it's called Anyonya Bhavam. Sakana Bhavatu, Sakana Bhunaktu. You say that. Why we say that? The teacher and the listener come together because, so you take what I say and then you say that to yourself. Now, when you tell yourself, you can realize that, yes, I am conscious about myself being conscious. When you are not being conscious about that you are conscious, you are asleep. That time you are being conscious of your unconsciousness. So there is still a consciousness, pure consciousness is there, but it is conscious of you being unconscious, you being unaware. I had a deep sleep. How do you know? I didn't know, but next day morning I know. While sleeping, I am unaware of it. So unaware is not a word play, but understand the insight of it. Unaware means my awareness, my consciousness is looking at something which is not cognizant, something which is dark, which is the mind which is sleeping. So I am aware of nothingness of the mind. So I am seeing nothingness. What are you seeing in the room? The room is dark. What are you looking at it? I am looking at the darkness. In the general science, we say darkness is the absence of light. Perfect. But I can see darkness. But to see anything, you need light. But I see darkness. That means there is a light of lights in me. That's why I'm able to see darkness. So darkness exists, nothingness exists, as long as I'm aware of nothingness. Nothingness doesn't exist in the objective world. Because nothingness in objective world becomes no thing. A thing is an object, no thing becomes nothing. Therefore, there is no object. It is shunya. But in a subjective plane, in a knowledge plane, I am aware of nothingness. That means nothingness exists. There is nothing. The is related to nothing together. It's not there is no thing. You understand? So this is just, I went sideways, but I think, so what it means is that consciousness being unconscious. Now, why I'm driving this? I'm driving this because therefore the unilateral pure consciousness has got two aspects of one absolute state. The absolute state is called prakasha. Prakasha means effulgence, the pure consciousness. But when it becomes aware of being aware, and therefore everything else after that, it is called vimarsha. So vimarsha is the expansion of the consciousness. Vimarsha is only that which gives you an identity. I exist because I am aware that I exist. You exist because you are aware you exist. But your awareness of your existence and my aware of my existence is powered by the pure absolute awareness. What is this pure absolute awareness? What it is aware of? It's like, what is it knowledge of? No, it is the awareness forever exists, knowing everything. The moment I give it to a subject, it is me, then it becomes ahankaram, vimarsham. So Ambal is called Vimarsha Rupini. So the Prakasham is called Chit, consciousness. The Vimarsham is called Chit Shakti. Maybe I'll give an example. If I take a mirror and I reflect the sunlight hits the wall. Now, if I change the mirror, shake the mirror, what happens to the reflection light? It shakes. So, in this, If you look at the wall now, there's a light there that is shaking, dancing. The sunlight in that reflected light is prakasham. That is absolute consciousness. We are looking at the reflected light on the wall. That light there, you cannot say the light is from the mirror. Mirror is merely reflecting it, but the light is actually coming from the sun. Prakasham. Then what about the mirror? The mirror does the immersion role. It is the one that expands it, reflects it, becomes a secondary light source. So the sun is Chit, pure consciousness. The mirror is Chit Shakti. What does the Chit Shakti do? It not only reflects, which is, look at it, when I am in a dark room, I want light. When the light comes through sun directly to me from the roof, or somebody on the window, reflect a mirror and comes to me, I got the light. That's fine. But the second light, the reflected light, is dynamic because the mirror can move. When the mirror moves, so many different lights come, different colors come. The sun doesn't move in this example. The Chit is Shivam, Achalam. But Chit Shakti, which is a reflected consciousness, moves, changes. As it changes, the reflected light changes in color, in size, in formations. So are the whole universe. But what about the wall? That wall, which is the platform on which the Chit Shakti can do all her play, is Maya. So Maya is the wall. That is, Maya is the platform upon which the Chit Shakti, which is the Parambika, who is a dynamic force of Brahman, can reflect the Brahma Shakti. Are you with me? That means everything that is reflected, that means everything that is in the world. What is reflected means? That means that something exists. You see an object. I see a stone. I see a tree. How come the tree, you know it? Because the light on the tree is reflected by the tree. Every object radiates electromagnetic radiation. It is releasing whatever comes on it. So you see a white color, black, red. The pigments are reflecting back. So the Maya is the basis upon which Shiva Shakti is projecting her Prakasham as Vimarsha Rupini. Now, why I am coming to this? The point of separation between the Parabrahmam to Shivam and Shakti, or the point of unification where Shivam and Shakti becomes Parabrahmam or Shiva Shakti. A point which divides is a point which unites. It's a simple idea. Somebody caused trouble in your life, the same person will be the resolution for your life. Same way, the point which separates is the point where it joins. So Bindu is both a differentiating point for a Srishti Kramam, but a unifying point in Laya Kramam. So when you are going from many to one, Bindu becomes unifying point. That's why it's inside. When you are coming from Bindu outside, it is a dispersing point. So this little chalanam of Bindu, which is on the power of Brahman, is called spandana, spota, spurti, the oscillation, the palpitation. This is the Shiva's dance. Hey, you are saying Chit Shakti, that is Shiva. The dancing form of Shiva is Shakti. On the cosmic dance, we'll see it later in the shloka. That is Shakti. So, okay, I went sideways, but I think it's useful. When we come back to the yantras, so somehow this esoteric idea should be remembered when you look at the yantram. So what they say, okay, look at the yantram, look at the geometry. There's a triangle, upside looking triangle. You call it a Shiva Chakra. Downside looking triangle, Shakti Chakra. And you go inside, you see the two small triangles. You see one triangle on the top, one triangle on the bottom. The top triangle, now I'm going to look at the Shakti. The Shiva Shakti, I cannot see it as Brahman, indefinable, anirvachaniyam. But the Shiva Shakti or splitting into Shivam and Shakti, and the splitting point is Bindu. Therefore, I want to locus on the Bindu. So can I do meditation on the Bindu? Yes. Of course, you get a qualification of getting all those steps. Then how do I do it? Now they say in Yantra, you put the face as a Bindu, then two Bindus for the breast, and then the triangle, bottom triangle is a Yoni. Now I got the Bindu. So this is how you do the Sthulam. There is a book called Kāmakala Vilasam. The Kāmakala Vilasam is a very important work in Sri Vidya. It is done by a Mahatma called Punyananda. So is it part of the Yogini Hridaya in the Bhramayati Sutra. So he explains all these things. We don't go into that. So there what he says, the Kāmakala, which is the intrinsic urge to unite when you do Layakramam, the intrinsic urge to separate into many worlds. I mean, we're talking about the point of singularity, If you are a physics student, if you are understanding the theory of everything, where science is trying to find the point of singularity, here it is so beautifully given. It is where it is that potency, where the time, space, everything stops. So there you do the dhyanam. So in a simple word, therefore, Kāmakala Vilasam is the evolution of one in its twin aspects of changeless consciousness to it is Chit Shakti and Chit. Now this is what the Sarvanandamayam in the ninth Avarna, the Bindu, is representing in this thing. So you worship as a Sthulam, you can worship as Ambal, as a Vigraham. Like I say, with a big bosom and big yoni, you can worship like that. Or you can worship in the tantric form with these bindus, diagrams and triangles. Or you can do in a mantra tanu, in a mantra form. In fact, this Panchadashi mantra is made out of 9 aksharas. The 9 aksharas becomes repeated a few times, it becomes 15, and one more added becomes 16. The 16 bijaksharams. There are a lot of detail into that. So each bijaksharam is identified as the anchor for each kutam. Say like Vagbhava kutam, worshipping for this part, the bijaksharam is Aim. The Hrim is a Maya bijam, like that. For this Kriya Shakti, the bija mantra is Kleem. Kleem is a sound for it. Now, if you know Sanskritam, and the word Kleem is written with Ka is like this. I don't want to draw this, I want you to imagine your mind. So Ka with the two circles come on the side. Kleem means we have to put a dot. La is like this. Kleem, Eem. So the visargam goes up there. So if you draw this picture with the visargam in the top as a bindu, as a face, the two oblong circles on the ka sound, ik sound, is the two bosoms of Ambal. The la is written like this. It's like the heart symbol, the first half. If you take it, la, that's a yoni. So you see, in the aksharam itself, the drawing comes in. Some say, for example, hara-ardham, I said. Hara-ardham means half of hari. But the ha sound, if you look at the ha sound in Sanskritam, Devanagari, it like this. Only half, if you take the top half away, only keep the bottom half, it will be half of the heart sign. So again, it is symbol. See, all these are symbols and codes to tell you that your mind is focusing on the creative part. Therefore, you look at all these things. But what is this creation? Cosmic creation. What do you call it? Vimarsa. See, the full state is udyuktam. Vimarsam is the expansion of it. So this is what we saw. So this is called Kāmakala Vilasam. Ambal worshipped as Kāmakala Kāmeśvarī. I remember one temple in Chennai in Triplicane called Kāmakala Kāmeśvarī. Ambal there. There is also one nakshotram there, Bindu Samashti Rupa, the Vyakshara Rupini, the Bindu Samashti Rupa, the Vyakshara Rupini. So the Divya Aksharam. So you can look at the Ambal's name, form in the use of Aksharas by writing it in a certain way. Bindu Trayam, you often do 3 bindus and draw these triangles. So it's on a simple graph they give you, that's what it is. Okay, one more interesting point, then we'll stop it. So how come it is Devi with the sun and the moon as their breast? How it is this? So it's a esoteric power. This is not a normal Devakanika, but it's Shakti, who is in the cosmological plane, yes. But the key is in the trilōkī. So she is the one who creates 3 worlds. So these 3, we in the normal upasana, what they call Surya Mandalam, Chandra Mandalam, and Agni Mandalam. Sarajyosna, that we saw in the 3, 15, 16, 17, we saw sun, moon, and Agni. Same way, these 3 bindus, face is Agni, each breast is Chandra and Surya. Or you want to call it by different names, you call it Vāmeśvarī, Jyeshteshwarī, Raudreshwarī. So you can do upasana like that. Or I am in the Kundalini path. How do I do the dhyanam? Okay, in Kundalini, it becomes Ida, Pingala are the 2 breasts. Sushumna is your face. So therefore, you don't really take the annotation of breast and yoni to be a physical form alone. They are just a placeholders like this vector database. So it can be a Kundalini Shakti nadis, it can be a mantras, all that. Now, another interesting point. Okay. So what is the trilōkīms? So, okay, they get attracted to me, even though I didn't bother about it. I only looking at the Ambal. I just worship Ambal as myself. And now you tell me, I asked Bhagavad Padar, you tell me, I get all this ekaparasukam, all the devatas coming and helping me without me asking it. But you also tell me this Mahashakti, who is with the breast of sun and the moon and the face of Agni, and who is causal for all the 3 worlds, she is also deluded to come and help me. I am controlling her. Yes. So what is the 3 world? Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. This earth, the heavenly space, and the bottom place. Generally we say, Om, Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, we say that. But let's look at it personally, because for us, what makes you worry about something happens in Timbuktu. Timbuktu is somewhere in the world, but is it in your world of experience? No. It does. You don't, man. You don't care about many things. So your world is where you get up, who you deal with, what is your office, where is your relationship. So you create a world around you. I always told you before, lokaha means the world. Lokaha comes from the dhatu, look. Look means perception. So your perceived domain of experience is your world. Fair enough, because I'm not bothered about things I don't get involved with. So my world will be, my family should be happy, my friends should be happy, my community should be happy. Right. It's only one world. It's my world. Correct. But this world is not one, it is three. What do you mean three? It is three because now I am in a world. I am talking to you, you're listening to me. We are going to go for a walk after that, going for a dinner somewhere else, see a movie. I'm exchanging many things. The functional world that I deal with, the empirical world I deal with, it's called the vyavakarika satya. I am in an awakened state of dealing with this transactional world. It is jagrata. First class. So this is your world. I have a good dinner, go to bed. I get a dream. In the dream, I'm hungry. I go to somewhere, I'm wandering in a desert, hungry, nobody is feeding me. Hare, I just now had dinner. I gone to bed. No, that is a different world. This is a different world. Okay, world may be different. Are you into the same? Your stomach was full. No. I am a dreamer. I'm not that waker. You tell me. So you know you are not the same person who are in the transactional world. Even though the dream comes into your same mind, but you have a very distinct personality that I am different. Then you have a dream and then slowly you go to a deep sleep. You don't know anything at all. You get up in the morning, at the beginning, thank God you can recollect it. You start again the another time. Another world, dream world, deep sleep. World, it goes in triplicity. You have three worlds coming every day. And when I ask you, how are you? You say, well, I'm no good. Because why? You're making lots of money? Yes, I'm comfortable. But I don't get sleep, Does it bother you? Yes. Without sleep, I cannot. That means you need all the three worlds to be for you at peace. So here is the beautiful point. So what is here coming through is that when you worship Ambal, the creators of the three world, how does the three worlds created? I don't know why I come to this world. It is God. I don't know why sleep comes to me. It is God. I don't know why the dream comes to me. It is God. So I just enjoy. So I'm an experiencer. Somebody is the causer. So let's take that one. It's a very simple approach. Therefore, there is a God. This God is in the form of a Shakti with the breast of sun and the moon and the Agni as the face. Now she or those damsels, those deities, those devis are causing me this three world. Now what happened to them? They are at my feet now. They are at my order. They are waiting to serve me. So what they can do, they can make my three world peaceful, blissful. My days are nice. My dreams are pleasant. My deep sleeps are peaceful. My life goes very well. You see, is it in what we want? This is what? That is what is happening. But then you ask a question to yourself. Wait a minute. I dreamt. I, the one transacted in this world. So I'm the one seeing this. So why do I need a deity outside of me to create this? Well, it is inside you. What is inside me that's creating it? Well, you told me that you had a good dinner before go to bed. Yes. Your stomach was full. Yes. But then you were hungry in the dream. Yes. So there are two different personalities, apparently. And you had a good sleep. Yes. And you witnessed the sleep. Yes. But I could only tell next day morning because the mind was sleeping, but I was witnessing the sleep. So there is a witness in you. Must be. Logically, yes. There must be a witness in me, the witness watching me transacting in this world, watching me dreaming, watching me deep sleep. Well, that is your prakasha. That is your absolute consciousness. That is your Shivam. Then what is this that creates all this? That's just Shakti. That's your Vimarsa. So I am the Shivam. I am the Shakti. You are the Shivam. You are the Shakti. The Shiva Shakti Aikyam is in you. So the duality that I see, so first I imagine to be a very physical intercourse that creates children, prodigy. Yes, that's a physical aspect of it. The mental aspect is sankalpam. In an esoteric form, it is your adhyatma vidya, your ajnanam that breeds, the darkness that beats, that I do not know that I am the witness, but I thought I am the dreamer. That's why I got multiple personalities every day. Isn't it life? Life, a beggar is much more peaceful and sleeps. His only worry is the food. But you are an executive in an office and you get problems, So many things you had to do. Same way when I am dreamer, waker, sleeper, I have checker. So what I do, I become the witness. When I become the witness, I am the Bindu Swarupam. I am the Chit Shakti Swarupam. Transcending this, I am in a Kāmakala, Kāmeśvarī. I understand the Kāmakala Vilasam. So this is how I think we should understand this thing. Therefore, it is so supremely beautiful. I mean, you can go on talking about this for so deep, but we'll stop it here. mukhaṁ binduṁ krutva kuca-yugam adhastasya tadadhō hara-ardham dhyāyēdyō haramahiṣi manmathakalām sadyaḥ saṁkṣōbhaṁ nayati vanitā ityatilaghu trilōkīmapyāśu bhramayati ravi-indu-stana-yugām. Om Asado ma satgamaya Tamasho ma jyotirgamaya Mrityoma amardam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank